I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. It. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Thing sucks.
Hey, go-to guy, I'm going to open up today's Daily Puck Drop with a question. And knowing how technically savvy you are, I bet you have the answer to this, okay? I got a question for Twitter. When you post the video on Twitter, and now it's changed. Sometimes on Twitter, when I post the link to the start of this show, sometimes it just posts the link to the show, and it doesn't actually show the video. And then it's weird. So, like, normally when it's posted on video, you see the video of us, and it's going live. And other times it's just a link to the video, and it's kind of confusing. Do you know why it does that by any chance?
Yeah, Puck, it's probably because the video is a little too long. Because if you have a video longer than 1 minute, then there's usually an issue there. And so you only get the blue writing instead of the video. And so I think that's what the problem is. If you shorten the videos, you won't have that issue anymore.
No, I'm talking about when we do the live show. When I send out the link to the live show.
Or are you just trying to be funny? All right, is that what you're doing right now?
No, I'm asking you if you know you know this. I don't know.
I know you're asking me, but you know that the answer that I'm going to give you is Jesus Christ, Puck. I don't know. Right?
Well, I thought maybe you'd have an idea.
And then you thought that would be funny, right?
No, I don't think it's funny. It's a dilemma. It happens every now and again where when I start the show on Twitter, instead of showing the full video of us, it will just show the link. And it bothers me. I don't know why it bothers me. It's these little things in life that get under my skin.
Is it 50% of the time?
No, I would say it's 10%.
Okay, well, ask Canzano.
Why would he know?
Well, I don't know, but it's a better question to ask him than, why would I know?
I was taking a stab in the dark that maybe the go-to guy knew, all right? I was taking a stab in the dark that maybe you... Listen, last night you figured out how to watch the Mariners game on the Root Sports stream from your iPad and then send it up to your TV. That not many people of your ilk can do that, and you accomplished that last night, and I think that's a big accomplishment.
Of my ilk?
Yes.
You mean my age? Because
I prefer ilk. It sounds better.
Understanding this shit and how it works. I was thrilled yesterday. I was able to offer advice on Twitter about how to get the Root Sports stream.
That's great.
And
That's great.
It was good advice because if you try that Root Sports app, we talked about it before the show started. It's a piece of shit, right?
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. The one. Hold on. Let me just before I get an angry text from someone, it's not the one on your TV. The one on your phone is not good.
Well, I don't know. I tried downloading it or uploading it from my iPad, and it didn't work. And I thought you had to go to the app to spend your $19.95. Sure. But then when I just went to rootsports.com,
works perfectly.
It was, as you would say, easy peasy.
Easy peasy. Yeah, it's a better way to do it that way. It worked on my Apple on my Apple TV, worked on Roku, was fine. It's just on your phone. When you try to get on your phone, it doesn't. I don't know. I don't think it still works on my phone, but
I just assumed it was because there were so many people that were trying to sign up for it that the system was bogged down and you couldn't get through. I don't know. I saw somebody on Twitter. Somebody waited 3 hours for that thing. Processing.
3 hours.
Yeah,
just
I don't
flip
think it
on
ever came through though.
Flip on the radio and listen to the docile tones of Gary Hill.
Gary Hill, go Cougs.
He just weaves you into the night along with Rick Riz. All right, let's get the show started. It's the Daily Puck Drop. We do it every single day live at 10 a.m. here on Twitter and also on YouTube. You can watch the shows there. You can also listen to the shows live. You have options to listen live in your car, on your phone. I would suggest you do so, ladies and gentlemen. The Puck Sports mobile app allows you to listen to this show live, on the move, on the go. Download it today from the iOS store, also the Google Play Store for your iPhone and Android phones. Just search Puck Sports mobile app. Also, later on today, when everything gets podcasted, if you like to take it in that way, all the shows are up on YouTube. Just search Puck Sports. Leave a comment and subscribe, please. Let's get those subscription numbers up. And also on your favorite podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify, YouTube Music, Amazon Music. Jim Moore, do you have a favorite podcast platform that you listen to shows on?
I usually just go to pucksports.com to listen to it.
Well,
Or
you can do that.
when I listen to it live, I go to your Twitter feed, and that's where I find it.
Okay, that you can do that as well. Pucksports.com. At pucksports.com, it links you to the YouTube page. It links you to the Apple podcast, also to Spotify there as well. All right, I'm broadcasting from the Limback Lumber Studios. Limback Lumber, God, we love them. Contractors, they love you as well, and you should love them. They got free deliveries, everything from whole house packages to homeowner DIY projects, largest stock moldings in the Northwest, old school service. They've been doing it since 1930. Give the friends a call at Limback Lumber, 206-782-3487. Visit them online at limbacklumber.com. And, of course, follow on the social media platforms, Puck Sports on Twitter and Instagram, also on Blue Sky, and Puck_sports on TikTok, where we put a lot of our video clips up there as well. I mentioned pucksports.com. That's where you can join the Pucks Posse community as little as $5 a month. And a discount if you sign up for a year. Gets you all of our benefits and helps all of our live content we do every single day, but also the VIP content as well, like our Dane Brugler NFL Draft Series, Ryan Divish every single week from the Seattle Times, and our new podcast, The Sports Pit, with the great Steve Sandmeyer and Matt Stretch Johnson, former KJR alums. All right, I am done. Now I turn it over to Jim Moore because he's a big deal. And with a big deal, you need a big sponsor. And that big sponsor is?
That big sponsor, Puck, is a Clean Streak professional window and exterior cleaning service out of Oak Harbor, proudly serving Island and Skagit counties for more than 10 years. They do it all at a Clean Streak: gutter cleaning, pressure washing, and streak-free window washing. This week, get your roof cleaned by Brian Turner and his crew. Spring's here, but winter has taken its toll on your roof. Come on, I looked at mine. It's a mess up there. Wish Brian Turner was down here in Bend, Oregon. He's not, but he can do it for you up where you are right now. Visit cleanstreak.com. Let them get up on their ladders and let them do their thing on those slippery roofs so you don't have to.
Okay.
For a free estimate, call 360. What are you interrupting me? What do
No,
you
I
want to say?
thought you were done. I'm sorry. Go ahead. My apologies.
Well, I got to get the phone number and the website in, okay? I mean, do you want to go back to hey, it's my 1-year anniversary for a free estimate?
Hey, I don't appreciate you mocking that, you son of a bitch.
Wait, I'll explain why I'm giving you shit here in a second.
Jesus.
Let me finish my ad read, would you please? Trying to be a professional here.
God.
For a free estimate, call 360-395-5748 or visit acleanstreak.com. Okay, I'm done now.
Okay,
I had that cheap shot talking about you.
Yeah, why? I don't appreciate that.
Because I told you I heard your show yesterday, and you thanked everybody, and rightfully so. People that helped you make it happen. And before I start ripping you, I want to say congratulations myself. I think it's great that you had a wild hair. You took a risk to go out on your own and do what you're doing, and to celebrate that 1-year anniversary, because it's awesome what you've done. Now, what I didn't appreciate is my part in this, my role in everything happening at pucksports.com. And I thought you'd say, God, really appreciate Jim. He's been a good co-host there at KJR and pinch hitting. He's not really making shit doing this, but I appreciate that he's coming on, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, which it sounds like I'm going to be cut back to Wednesday, Friday here pretty soon. You probably have news about that. But anyway,
it's not true.
Let's put that aside for a second. You didn't thank me for any of that. You thanked me for getting fired.
Yeah, that was it was
you
good.
Thanked me for getting fired. Usually when people get fired, it's like, hey, man, sorry you got fired. God, that sucked. It wasn't justified. And you might tell somebody behind his back, oh, God, they should have canned him a long time ago. But, that's the kind of thing you normally say. You don't normally say, hey, thank you for being fired. But you did.
I thought it was something that was great that it really springboarded this whole project. Had you not been fired, then it probably doesn't get taken off the ground. So I do think it was a heartfelt thank you yesterday.
It was heartfelt. It was sincere. It was genuine. It was even like you kind of teared up a little bit.
It was a 5-second smart ass comment. And then you didn't mention the rest of it. That was a really
down period in my life. And you're making fun.
I think you're happier now than you've ever been.
Oh God!
Don't play up the victim role for the audience that you like to do. You've been fired, and I read your column where you torched everyone last week, Salk and Purple Sheet. Don't play the victim. This is the best thing that ever happened to you, getting fired, so you can move to Bend and be retired.
Well, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't too unhappy when I was getting those $831 weekly checks from unemployment.
Now
That wasn't
you'd
too
like for
bad.
that to come back, please.
Yeah, I wanted to thank Rich Moore for that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, but I
No,
thank
so
you
any,
very
but
much.
really, on a serious note, just for half a second anyway, I think it's awesome what you're doing, and where you started, and to where you are today, and how you built this thing up, and with, I mean, really, you could be charging $5 a month with, just your regular stuff that you're doing, but everything else that you're offering, it's a great deal, man. It's just a great deal. $5 for what they're getting with Dane Brugler, and I listened to Sandy and Stretch with you the other day, and it was just really good stuff. And so all these different things that you're offering for Puck's Posse members, it sounds like, I'm just sucking up to you because you're my buddy, and that, that's partly true. But even if I didn't know you, I would think, God, this is some good shit this guy has here for five
Right.
bucks a month. Come on.
I appreciate that. You know how I feel about you. You know how what a huge part of this that you are. So yeah, it's been great. It's wild that I said this yesterday, and I'll just say it again because you're here. It's wild that it's been a year. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, I think you've been on for, when did you start? July?
Yeah, I think my non-compete or whatever the hell that was.
The non-compete. What? Just such a load of crap. What is he going to go compete and do? I love a non-compete.
Yeah, I think
So
I came back with you in July, was it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It's someone asked me yesterday, I was talking to somebody, and then I just said, "What, any regrets?" And like, no. Not at all. Not a single regret. Now that comes off as like I had a poor time at KJR. I did not. I mean, that was 20 plus years of great times and fun memories and great friends and all of it. It was wonderful, but it was time, to be over. And just and again, it was going to happen eventually. It just would, when they dismissed you, and it was just like, okay, well, now's the time. I just didn't like and I don't like where media is going now. It's awful. It's awful. These companies are awful. All of them. And it's not just radio, it's TV. It's everyone. It's awful how they treat people. It's awful how much money they work, how little they pay them, and how much they demand from them. And I just think more people, and it's scary. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you that it's not scary, that it wasn't scary to do, and it wasn't nerve-wracking. And then I slept great. In the beginning, it was great. It was awesome. Yeah, but I hope a lot of the people, if they feel that they can do it, just jump in and do it. Because I'm going to tell you, it's better on the other side. It just is. You can control your own message and control what you want to do, and you don't got to listen to people tell you what to do, and you don't got to listen to all the BS all the time. And then it's, the other thing is, what I enjoy talking sports with you, and then when Egan comes on later, and then the new sports pit that we debuted with Sandy and Stretches, I like that kind of sports talk. Okay? That's what I like. It's not for everyone, but that's what I like. I like friends talking about sports rather than it almost feels like sports talk now can be like you're going to the dentist office. Where it's just not, it's just too much like minutia and information and stats and all that. And it just, I don't, that's not for me.
No, I know, Puck. When I first got into it, I thought, God, I'm gonna have to get up to speed to learn how to break it all down. Everybody's breaking shit down.
Got to break it down. Well, your thoughts, break it down.
And I heard you talking, I think with Stretch and Sandy about the zone blocking schemes and all that. I mean, and that's fine if people want to do that.
Sure,
that's great. And I'm with you on that. But no, and I think you're right about that. And even if people take a risk and it doesn't work out, that's the best thing about that. Okay, it didn't work out for you, but you took the risk. It's better than not doing it at all and wondering your rest of your life going, God, I wonder if back in 2024 I should have tried this instead of doing what I'm doing.
And I would say that
at least you'll know. And I think you'd be proud of yourself even if you failed at whatever you did that you were trying to do.
I would say that for anyone, whatever walk of life that whatever business or job that they have. I would say that for anyone. Just, if it doesn't work out, okay, it didn't work out. Find something else to do.
But you don't have regrets then.
No, exactly right. I just, and it's, but you've got to, you just got to, if you have a passion for something and something that you truly want to do, I think you just got to jump in and do it. And just say to yourself, give yourself a time. I mean, I gave myself 12 months. That was the cutoff. If it didn't work in 12
months. Was it
months,
you who gave you that time, or was it Kaisa?
Or her.
The CEO had more to do with that.
The CEO, but it was also, but that was also my timeline. I just said that, hey, if people didn't come over, if we didn't have an audience and people weren't watching and listening, then there was a clear message that it wasn't working. Because there's a lot of people that leave places and you wonder, are they propped up because of the place that they're at? Right? How many I always think about this all the time because I thought about this a lot. Was I being propped up by KJR? Was that just the success because I was just a part of the machine there?
God, I wouldn't have thought, that's interesting you say that. I wouldn't have thought of it like that.
But I thought you think that a little bit. Well, I just think of when you go out on your own, because I think back to the example of how many ESPN personalities have tried to go out on their own and have failed. And you're like, well, where'd that person go? Like ESPN TV people. There's not a lot of success stories. There's not a lot. When you think about Dan Patrick, that kind of comes to mind. But there's a lot of people that have left, that. And so I thought a lot about that. God, if you leave there, and then all of a sudden people just, because people quickly forget you. And whoever fills in and picks up that time slot, they just go, well, I'm familiar with tuning in there at 10 a.m., so I'm just going to continue to go there. And now this person's my new favorite person. And I guarantee that's happened at the radio, that someone who liked us forever now tunes in at 10 o'clock and goes, all right, well, those guys aren't there, but I like these guys. So I'm just comfortable with listening to the morning show now, into this, into that. So, but there's a lot of people, and I heard from a lot of them yesterday who came over from, the days on radio and said, listening for years, and we just made the transition over. And there's a lot of new people who never even listen to the radio. And we're like, oh, I discovered you and Jim on YouTube. Okay, it's great. Awesome. So we do it for everyone, Jim. We're the show for the people.
And the thing is if people can just make the switch to podcasts, it's so much better. Not just your show, but podcasts in general, because you don't have the commercials. God, the commercials now, KJR and 710, those breaks are what, 9 minutes long?
I mean, it's long. We do commercials here, but we keep them, 15 seconds, so it's a live read. Though. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, there's a frustration, I think, from viewers and audience members. And yeah, I think somebody just sent me something yesterday. Oh, it was our good friend, Smokey McPot. You remember Smokey McPot?
I do remember Smokey McPot.
Love Smokey McPot. He sent me a message yesterday and was saying, hey, I never did podcasts, never did any of this until you made the switch. And he's like, now I can't imagine not listening any other way.
Yeah. You talk about the media industry too. It's not like, and cost cutting moves. I wasn't making enough money to make a dent in the cost. And then you think about it. Okay, you got rid of Jim Moore's salary. Well, you hire a guy from across the country and you bring him out here. You move him out here. You pay for his car to be moved out here, and you're probably paying him more than $100,000 a year. I can tell you that much. I wasn't making that much. So it's just, I don't know how the whole thing works, but oh well. The one thing I will tell you,
it's in the past.
It's in the past, and it's for a good reason. And I always tell people, just like you just did, when you get fired, it seems terrible, but down the road you'll find out that it really wasn't. It just wasn't working out for your employer, and it wasn't working out for you.
Sure.
Okay, fine.
Sometimes change is necessary.
You want to know how I know that you're doing really well with pucksports.com?
Well, how?
Well, I saw it. Brad Adam tweeted it out yesterday. And my mom, my 95-year-old mom, who still subscribes to the Seattle Times, called me and she was like, Jimmy, I got to tell you about this ad in the paper today. It's with Jason and Brad Adam and Ryan Divish, and it's about pucksports.com. And it says it's Seattle's best sports podcast.
I don't think I was allowed to say that, but we just said it anyways.
No, I know.
And I was saying, you can just make up anything, right? And so I just said, oh, let's just call it that. I mean, I don't know. Okay. It's probably not even top 5, but whatever.
Okay. And I worked at the PI for 26 years, so I know a little bit about what it costs to take
Sure.
out ads in a newspaper.
Yeah.
And that ad that you had could not have been cheap. So that tells me that you're doing pretty well.
Oh, it was a strategic move to put it in the baseball preview show. I was good. I liked it. It looked pretty good.
It looked
pretty
great.
Good. Yeah, I thought
it.
it looked good. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
got
but
some
my
digital.
mom was just like, "Oh, Jason, Jason did this and Jason did that," and I'm like, "Yeah, Mom."
She kind of wants to adopt me, doesn't she?
No, not really. And she doesn't. She doesn't listen. I mean, she used to listen when I was 7, 10.
Oh, I remember. Well, she listened with us. I remember.
Yeah.
I got a.
She
got
used
a
to
few
think you were a
texts.
little too silly, though. And
Well,
then,
I probably.
but I've
am.
had program directors talk to me before and go, "You know what? Your mom's not in the age demographic we're looking to to attract anyway." I mean,
Just God
yeah,
bless.
let's
How's she doing
appeal
it?
to that 95-year-old demo.
How's she doing at 95?
She's doing, you know what? She's doing great. They got displaced out of their Fairwood home though because they had some water damage, and they've been living down at the Marriott for the last 5 months across from
Oh,
Coulon Park there in Renton.
sure. I know where Coulon Park
And you know what
is.
she was doing last night? I almost tweeted the picture out, and then I thought she might be offended by it. But her husband sent us a picture of her eating a chicken pot pie while she was watching the Mariners postgame show.
Well, what's wrong
She
with that?
loves the Mariners. My mom just loves the Mariners. Like, we always sit there and go, God, if they could just make it to the World Series in our lifetime. I'm looking at my mom going, God damn it, we better hurry the fuck up here. We got to hurry up.
Did she
We
have
gotta
a?
hurry up? Come on. I'll even like you, Jerry. I will. I'll like you again if you can do it. If you can pull this off, just for my mom's sake, because she's been following it, since '77, and like a lot of us have. And so, anyway, yeah.
Well, I was just a baby.
You what?
I was just a baby.
Oh, yeah, you were just a baby. What was I, 19 when the Mariners came to town. And I'm going to be 68 in June. I mean,
You look great for 68. And you know what? You get it from your mom. She's 95. She's doing great. I want to go back to, because I don't know. Your mom likes pot pies. I don't know if I've met anyone in the world that likes pot pies more than I do. God,
really?
I love them. Oh, I just love them.
Well, who's got the best one in town?
Well,
I mean, do you make a good one?
I make a good one. I have not. That's an interest. I'm interesting you brought that up. I've not found any place in town that makes a good one. Hey, someone in our chat can just, if you know a place that makes a good chicken pot pie, let me know. My mom makes a good chicken pot pie. I make a pretty decent one. The Swanson's one where you can buy in the store is probably top notch, the best one ever. But I love a chicken pot pie. God, I kind of want to have one tonight now.
You go into any restaurant, any given restaurant, nobody's really clamoring for chicken pot pies. But I'm with you. Chicken pot pie is good. We gotta
find some place in here. We gotta find something or some place that's got a chicken pot pie. Someone's got to know of a place around Seattle area. I don't care where it's at. That someone's got a great chicken pot pie.
But this picture is so funny, and
Can you send it to me, please?
Yeah, I'll send it to you. But you can see her eating this chicken pot pie, and then here's Logan Gilbert being interviewed, on the post-game show.
She loves her Mariners.
And I'm thinking, Mom, it's like 9:45. Why are you eating a chicken pot pie at 9:45? Then I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. I'm her son, and I'm eating all kinds of shit after 9:30.
We got one here in the chat from our buddy Tino, Chris Martino, Church Key Pub in Edmonds. Church Key Pub. I'm writing this down. Church Key Pub.
You'll make a special trip to the Church Key Pub, won't you?
Well, Edmonds is not too far away.
Yeah,
Edmonds is 15 minutes, 20 minutes or so away. By the way, if I ever moved out to Seattle, Edmonds is where I'm going.
Yeah,
if
Edmonds
I were to stay around here.
Edmonds is nice. That's where Jessamine McIntyre lives. You remember her?
Well, now I'm out. No, I'm not going to go there.
Your Wyman
just joking.
Goldie, or was it Ryan Roland Smith last night, made a reference to Wyman last night.
To Wyman? What's he been up to since he stopped playing football? What's he been doing?
I have no idea. I've lost touch with Dave.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about that game last night? The biggest thing, let's get out of the way. Were you able to find the game? You got the game. Root Sports Stream worked. We've talked about this a little bit. The phone didn't work, but you were able to get on your iPad and then shoot it up to your TV. No issues, no problems?
Yeah, early on there were a few glitches, but Yeah, it was fine. And then I switched to my iPad, and then I started watching Duke in Arizona. God, that
Oh,
Cooper Flag kid, he's pretty good.
he's
Oh
not
my
bad.
God! Honest to God, I've never seen that kid play until
That
last
was your
night.
first time watching him play?
Yeah, I couldn't take my eyes off that
Oh,
kid. I go,
he's
God, you know what? You're like the
phenomenal.
ultimate basketball player. You're fundamentally sound, and you do everything right.
Oh, just say what you want to say. Say what you
What?
want to say. What you want to say.
What do you want me to say?
You
That's what
know,
I'm saying. I watched that
no.
kid, and I'm going, you're unfucking believable. I can't
Audience,
believe I haven't
audience,
watched him till now.
audience.
You want me to say something about like I bet you he can live in Bend because he's white? Is that? I mean, is it something like that?
Well, you went
No,
right to. He's just everything that's great. He's fundamentally sound,
no, he
which is
is.
just.
No, is that like well, that's a term that you give a white kid because he's
Yes, of
okay.
course. That's
All right.
that's
Well,
the
he's fundamentally
stereotype.
sound, but he's also electric too.
There
He's
you go.
dynamic.
He's
He's got range. He's got everything inside. He can pass. I mean,
he's got it
yeah.
all, man. That's why he's gonna be the first pick of the draft. I mean, he's
Oh
got
my
everything.
God.
There's not a thing that kid can't do. What was amazing, we'll get back to the Mariners. What was amazing about it last night is the strategy. You look at his size and how big he is. The strategy in the late portion of the game, the second half, was to make him the point guard. He was the point guard bringing the ball up. I mean, it's
Yeah.
he had 30 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds. I mean, how many turnovers did he have? 1 turnover? I mean, he
That's a hell of an
is.
Arizona team too. Arizona beat that team without Cooper Flag.
I mean, they just solid. I mean, he just has it all. He plays above the rim. He plays fast. He can shoot. He passes. He plays
Eyes in the back of
hard.
his head, he can anticipate,
Yeah,
hey, you know
it's
what?
great.
It looks like I'm going to shoot this little banker here, but no, I'm going to give it to you for the alley-oop dunk. I mean, it
Yeah.
was, yeah, it
He's
was
probably one of those guys that first guy in the gym, last guy to leave.
maybe, yeah, he probably is, Puck. Do you want me to use that too?
Would you classify him as a gym rat?
He reminds me of Dylan Darling. A lot of his games.
Dylan Darling. Why are we beating up
There's
poor
a lot of
Dylan?
Parker Garrett's in that kid too.
Can we not beat up Dylan Darling, please? Leave poor Dylan Darling alone. All right, so
Idaho State.
so the stream app worked. It worked for me. The one on the phone didn't work, but once I got it up on the TV, it was fine. And the quality looked, I don't know, the same. It just nothing was different. It just looked like I was watching a normal TV. I guess that's the one thing I don't like about it being a stream, and this is an app, is being able to go back and forth. Because you're trying to watch, I had my computer out so I could watch the basketball games that were going on at the same time, and you're like, the benefit of cable is the back and forth nature of it that makes it really, really smooth and easy. But I mean, that's fine.
Yeah,
Just
but all in all, for a first night, I'm sure they were going to have some glitches, and they were minimal, I thought.
on theirs, the MLB.TV app that everyone else is using across baseball, all these teams that don't have like cable deals or television deals, that was a shit show. Like no one got to watch anything yesterday. It was awful.
Really?
Oh yeah, it was real bad. Real bad. Major League Baseball really dropped the ball. If Major League Baseball wants to take over the television production of everything and stream these games, they better figure that shit out because yeah, if you read all accounts yesterday, it was really bad for any of the teams that are under the MLB.TV umbrella. The Mariners are not, in a way, they're being produced by Major League Baseball. The production is, but we sign up and we watch it through a separate app, not the MLB.com app.
Yeah, well, the whole blackout thing, I don't quite understand that. I guess I would understand if it was in the Seattle-Tacoma area because they still want people to show up for the games. But, I mean, shit, I'm a 6-hour drive away and I'm still under the blackout rule.
It's there, but you're just in their territory. Hey, a guy that we praised, Jerry DePoto, for bringing back all offseason, Jorge Polanco.
You know, honest to God, since you brought up Jerry's
Good
name,
for him.
if you're Jerry today, aren't you thinking at least privately talking to your dog or your wife or your kids and going, yeah, you know what? All those guys who think they know so much on sports talk radio and the
Fuck
columnists,
them all.
those motherfuckers that I can't stand.
Yeah.
You know, I sure showed them, didn't I?
Yeah.
They were all poo-pooing, that it was an injury why Polanco didn't hit last year and they didn't think he could play third base.
Sure.
And yeah.
That's why I'm Jerry and they're Jim and Puck. because I know what I'm talking about. Those guys are hosting a failing podcast. Yeah, Jerry, you may be right. Maybe right.
Yeah, off of one game, it looks like he could be right because Polanco was sensational last night. He looked
Great.
okay at third. I thought he looked a little shaky on that pop-up, but yeah, I think it's still going to be a work in progress with him at third base. But it looks
Sure.
like, yeah, looks like he could be that hitter that we always saw in Minnesota. Maybe a semblance of that anyway.
It just was a great night for him. I mean, what was he, 3 for 4? 3 for 4.
Well, 3 for 3 because they gave him a sacrifice on that bunt.
Yeah, I mean, he was great, and I was getting killed for that bunt. And I know people hate bunting, but I would just say this about that. I, for one, like bunting, so I know there's a lot of people that don't like it. I understand the scenario and the situation. It sounds like Dan Wilson probably didn't like it, but if the third, and I didn't actually see where the third baseman was, but from Polanco's point of view, if the third baseman was playing as far back as Polanco was talking about after the game, I understand the decision, what he was trying to do. Not like he's just trying to move and sacrifice the guys over. He's trying to get on base. Now I would say, hey, you're not the most fleet of foot. You're not the fastest guy in the world, and you got a knee injury, so maybe that wasn't the smartest thing to do. I would say, had they not come back and won, and he still did that earlier in the game and they had lost, I would say that's the problem with not going out and spending more on the team, because you have a player who's up to bat who feels like, my God, we are wasting another terrific pitching performance from a starter, and we can't get anything going. We can't do anything. So I, who probably shouldn't bunt in this situation, see a third baseman playing back, trying to spark something. Maybe they throw it away and we score a run. Who knows? We got Tellez coming up right behind me. I'm going to drop down a bunt. And I think that's the thinking that leads into it, because of this pressure some of these hitters probably put on themselves of like, my God, we are going 7, 8 innings. We're not doing shit again. And it's the same old crap from, the last few years, and we're doing it again. I'm wondering if some of that pressure for Polanco led into that decision.
Well, we talked about it before the show started. Severino had to make a hell of a play to get Polanco. He only beat him by a step and a half. And, it was a good throw. And he, turned and wheeled and threw it and pulled it off. And then also for Polanco, you could also make the case that, down the road, okay, the third baseman, whoever they're playing next, sure. I'm not sure who they're playing next, but he's got to be aware that Polanco might lay that bunt down. And it opens up more room in the infield for him. So I don't know. I didn't have a huge problem with it. It was a little odd to see with a guy who had 2 hits and,
sure,
laying down that bunt
I get it.
With 1 out, giving you 2 outs. But I'm with you on that. I'm not a big fan of bunting either. But look at what it produced last night. I mean, it was a fiasco as it turned out, where Bliss came home after Victor Robles missed the bunt when he turned, and they had the replay and saw that his foot didn't hit home plate. But it made things happen on the base pass.
Well,
especially for a team that is challenged to score runs, you got to manufacture some runs. And, you had your speedy guy out there in Bliss, and you had Robles trying to get it done too. And so it was, an interesting part of the game. And then you got a sac fly out of it that tied the game at that point.
I really like what last night and listen, in the brief amount of time that we were in spring training watching Ryan Bliss, but really what I really liked what I saw Ryan Bliss last night. Just a couple of walks, stealing bases, making some plays happen. You're right. This is a team that's going to struggle to score runs. You need a guy on the base pass that can create havoc and get you and just sneak out some runs, steal some runs. And he almost stole the run there. Now I think next time maybe he slides head first. I think in that situation, sliding head first is always easier because your hand's on the ground, your foot's never going to come up. So maybe he does that and decides to go head first next time. But, I mean, he was safe. He just didn't get his foot down. But he at least he was there in time. He has a real knack of base running. I saw a game in spring where there was a little bloop hit to right field. He was on first base. He went to third base on that. He's probably the only player on the team that can probably get to third on that. Just how aggressive he is. And, defensively, he was fine. It was interesting, the new segment I have with the scout, who is a current Major League Baseball scout right now with a team who's been 30-plus years in the league. I asked him yesterday about Bliss. He goes, I said he projects to be a better hitter than a fielder. He said, no, I actually think of the opposite. I think he's got projected to be a better fielder than a hitter because they're going to play him at second base when a lot of his time was played at shortstop, where a lot of his errors were made at shortstop. He goes, you play him at second base, I think he's going to profile better there at second. So we'll see. And I thought yesterday he was fine, more than fine.
Well, yeah, I thought that was interesting. I heard that with the scout yesterday too, and everything I'd heard about Bliss, which
That he was
wasn't
terrible.
much.
Yeah.
I thought he was maybe not that great at second base, but I always, heard about his bat. I remember he came over from in the Kelnick trade, didn't he? Or was he the Arizona trade?
I gotta refresh my memory. I can't remember.
Yeah, well, anyway, when he came over, though, I remember thinking, God, that might be the diamond in the rough guy that they actually want in this trade. And so it's good to see him get this opportunity. And we saw what he could do. Again, we've already talked about it on the base paths, but defensively, I thought he was terrific. I mean, he made the routine plays, which, okay, fine. Everybody should make a routine play at the major league level. But he made some spinning moves, and, he dove and got one. And I mean, who knows? I mean, some second baseman might not have made the plays that Ryan Bliss did last night.
Let's brighten up our Friday with the Prince of Puyallup, ladies and gentlemen. He was there, I think, all day long yesterday. There he is from Puyallup, Washington, your favorite sports anchor on King 5. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Chris Egan. Follow him on social media, Chris Egan 5. And wouldn't you know it, Moore, he's wearing some type of NBC Olympic paraphernalia.
Also, Puck, that is the South Hill Little League baseball hat. I was the manager of the All-Star team, the South Hill Little League represented, by the way, at the Little League World Series last year. So they are the team to beat right now in Little League, South Hill Little League. So throwing that out there. Yeah.
I got a question for the South Hill Little League team.
Okay,
There's been some awful rumors.
Okay.
Are they going to fly anyone up from Arizona again,
wow.
What are the thoughts on that?
Jealousy, jealousy.
Okay. But there was that rumor, right? I've heard this rumor.
There's rumors every day you go through life. There's rumors, and you either just.
How old's your youngest kid now?
My youngest is in 8th grade. He's 8th grade. He's more of a basketball. Yeah, and he he did baseball at an early age, Jim, and then I think he just watched so much baseball that it was boring for him. So he's a football, soccer, loves basketball. I mean, he's the guy that last night just is glued into the NCAA tournament. He's the kid that doesn't want to go to school during the NCAA tournament because he wants to watch the games. So, I mean, he's a good kid. So we're having fun with him. And talk about fun. Last night, you guys were talking about Ryan Bliss. I do want to bring this up. I remember interviewing him the first day I got down to spring training. And I knew that he had come up last year and played a little bit. But when I finished the interview, I said, because I kind of threw the question out, do you like to compete? Or, I knew he was kind of battling Dylan Moore at second base. And, you had the Colt Emersons and Cole Youngs down there all kind of battling. And I left the interview saying, I like this guy. He is confident, but not cocky. And this guy is going to be on the team. And just his persona. I don't know if either of you two have kind of spent some time with him, but he is a very confident young man. And I'm excited. I love that. Like Jim, you and I are on the same page. Just throw something different out there. Maybe throw a bunt once in a while just to keep the team guessing. I mean, these pitchers right now are throwing sweepers and sliders that are moving 4 to 5 feet. If you throw out a bunt once in a while, I don't think it's a bad thing. And he's gonna be fun to watch this year. I'm excited about him. So we'll see. Nice little win last night. Polanco did his thing. I will say this: the Mariners. You talked about hitting woes. Well, Oakland never had a runner in scoring position last night. They didn't have one. We, at least through walks, hit by pitch, had 3 runners in scoring position last night. So it could have been a lot worse. We could have had 0. Oakland never had a runner in scoring position. That's how good Logan Gilbert was last night.
Okay, let me go back to Bliss for a second. You saw him in person. How little does he look in person?
I didn't think little. I just thought speed. When you see him, you're just like, okay, this guy is fast. I mean, he's not a huge guy. I'll be honest with you. He's not Rowdy Tellez, who I swear played for my co-ed softball team 10 years ago in Puyallup. But this guy, I mean, he's going to cause some he's going to cause the other team to think. He's going to cause a little chaos ball, if you will. It's like one of those things when remember those days in Little League where you play those teams once in a while that would just run the bases as much as they can until you can get them out. He feels like he's that, like, just go until they can get you out, and I like that. It's gonna be fun.
We got it. We have a Little League team like that. The Bliss, we went down to spring training. We met him. The Owen, the vampire, got to meet him. Nice. And I would say that, you see how tall I am. I'm not tall at all. I'm short. Like, I think I kind of towered over Bliss, it felt like. He's not big. He's not a big guy. Not a big guy at all. But he's built. He's strong. He's strong. But I'm with you. I like the way he plays. He plays hard. And I think for a team that can't hard to score a ton of runs, I think his ability, if he can get on base, will be able to cause a lot of havoc. He has the potential to do that.
And like Jim said, at second base, he's playing Perry Hill infield baseball. Perry is be vanilla. Yeah. Do not be flashy. Just make the plays that you should make. And that's what he did. Those were just – Logan Gilbert was ahead of the hitters. They were sending a lot to second base last night. He didn't have to be flashy. Just get your glove down, make the play to first base. And that's what Perry wants from his infield, and that's exactly what he did last night. It was
a great sports night, but I think all of our heads and minds must have been going, when they're going, 5, 6, 7 innings, and they still don't have a run, and there's Logan Gilbert out there who is dealing. That's like some of the best pitching you've ever seen from Logan Gilbert, right, Jim? And everyone's thinking the same thing. Same bleeping story. Yeah. Cannot hit and great starting pitching.
The only thing I think that people were adding to that, Jim and Puck, is that some people were thinking instead of Trent Thornton coming in the 8th inning, maybe bringing in Ichiro to pitch the 8th inning. How he's throwing 84 at his age? Are you kidding me? That was amazing last night to see that.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, it was a ball though. It was high. It was
a little high. It was that's a Little League strike though.
That's true.
Okay, since you mentioned Ichiro, and I know that you should never say anything critical of Ichiro because that's, you're not playing to the crowd there. But why does he feel the need to go out and do that? I'm going to show everybody I still got it. Is that kind of what it is, or?
I think it's
Jim. You Debbie Downer.
Jim, here's the thing. He's worked hard to get where he's at physically. Now, I'm going to just say this. If I was somehow to get my 51-year-old body in shape and was able to get some abs, you think I'm going to Hawaii and I'm not taking the shirt off? You better believe I'm taking the shirt off. Right now, I'm still wearing the surfer shirt when I go out in the water.
Oh, come on. You are not. You don't wear a shirt into the water, do you? I don't even do that, and I probably should, but come on. You don't do that, do you?
Egan, you don't have man breasts, do you?
No.
Egan, do you really wear a swim shirt into the water?
No, once in a while, Puck. Well, I don't want to scare away the
I'm
kids,
disappointed.
Well, it's, sometimes I don't want to get the back burnt.
Well, Jim, Jim, when he's on the water floating around, it just looks like that there's a beaver in the water.
Yeah. No, I don't know what to do about that. Kathy wants to wax me.
Yeah.
I'm just I don't like pain. And so, I'd rather have a hairy back than have pain.
You know what I said, Jim, in the morning show yesterday? If the Mariners make the World Series, I'm going to shave a trident into my back hair. So the morning group seemed to like that.
What who are you on with? Jake and Mimi?
Jake and Mimi.
What are they going to do? What's their?
Well, Jake shaved his head 3 years ago. Put like a trident in the back of his head when they made the playoffs, and nobody made a bet last year, so we felt like it was maybe our responsibility that they didn't make the playoffs last year.
A trident in the back hair, wonderful. So you got a problem with Ichiro getting up there and throwing an 84-mile-an-hour fastball?
No, I don't have a problem with it. It just occurred to me that I think I'm just bitter because I had this great idea that the Mariners didn't capitalize on. They're playing the Oakland A's. He's already thrown out the first pitch before.
Yeah.
Put him out in right field.
Yes.
Get Terrence Long rounding second, going to third. Terrence Long, pay for his flight up to Seattle, wherever he is. Reenact that play. Put Niehaus on the scoreboard. Show that play again. And Ichiro would have been all over that. Like, hey man, if I can throw 84 miles an hour from the mound, I can make a one-hop throw to third again like I did back in 2000, whatever.
See, I don't think he would do that, though. He wouldn't want to show up Terrence Long. And no way Terrence Long is taking a plane ticket. Hey, yeah, I'll come back up and run from first to third and get thrown out
but
again.
have you read the comments that Terrence Long had about Ichiro, though, when he found out Ichiro was going to make the Hall of Fame? He talked about that play, and it was looking back, and he was even like mid-stride going into third base going, oh shit, man, I'm probably going to end up on Sports Center on this play, you know? So he took it in a good way. So I thought maybe you could reenact that and just have fun with it.
That would have been fun.
Jim, with that in mind, I would have loved that, but I do need to give the Mariners credit. I thought they hit it out of the park last night. You had the Dave Niehaus, audio tribute. You had the young kid running the bases, the little girl, which I thought she was phenomenal. I thought it was a first class broadcast last night by the Mariners. I thought it was good stuff. If I'm a baseball fan, you two are baseball fans, but you watched last night and there's moments where you get a little goosebumps before the game. And that was a fun one last night.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The little girl running around the bases and then doing the Rosarena and what she did Julio too.
And then they brought the Ichi meter lady back for the countdown to Cooperstown. I thought that was great marketing by the Mariners. So
did we do hot dogs from heaven yesterday? Did they drop the hot dogs? I didn't see.
No, they did this. They did the Chinooks Coho sockeye run. Which seems to be getting
good.
Popular.
I like that. I'm in.
Yeah, but hot dogs. Are you wanting to ban hot dogs from heaven, Puck?
No, I don't mind it.
Okay. Sounded like you were making fun of it, though.
No, I'm just wondering if they did it. I mean, it did sound like I was going to make fun of it, but no.
You're just disappointed when you go that you don't catch one.
I love a good hot dog. Hey, so I didn't see it. Did they played Louie Louie, right? Did you hear about this?
It was a remix of it or something.
It was a remix. Did you guys hear it?
I didn't get a good chance to hear it. But.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to see if this works.
I just saw it on Twitter. Yeah, they don't have Macklemore anymore.
They got rid of, I think for a good reason, they got rid of Macklemore. You can't say that. Okay, here, I don't know if this is going to come through. If you guys can't hear it, just let me know. Hear it? So they did a remix version of it.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay. You have to, Puck, start bringing in the younger generation of fans, and the older fans need to be less sensitive about this stuff because
why, Chris?
Because the older fans are dying out, and they need young fans.
They should, you know what they should have over there one night is a death night. Hey, if someone has died recently, bring their corpse to the ballpark. We'll sit them like Bark in the Park night. Corpse night. Bring your corpse up to right field, and you're going to sit with Aunt Mary.
What, and then after the game, you take the corpses around the bases?
Yeah, you take the corpses around the base, and then we bury them. Have a funeral.
God, you're a sick fuck.
I like Louie Louie just the way it is. Can we
imagine lugging your corpse around the base path?
Oh, you'd have to get a wheel. There'd be a lot of people.
Weekend at Puck, it's Jim and I just carrying around Puckett all around Seattle.
Well, why can't we just have normal Louie Louie?
Well, I mean, but there's like anybody that is 60 and under, well, let's say 51 and under, doesn't know the song Louie Louie. So that's 50 years of people.
So what?
But Chris, they know the song from going to Safeco Field and T-Mobile Park.
Yeah, but why not pick it up a little bit like that? It's like, sometimes I go to my mom's church. I love it. It's a Lutheran church, but they're playing these songs from the
Did you say 40s. It's a loser
no,
church?
Lutheran church.
Ludes.
Martin Luther broke away from the Catholics. That's another story.
Martin Luther broke away from the Catholicism, Jim. Let me just give you that. Because he wanted to booze and philander with women. So he said, I'm going to make my own religion.
Well,
called.
It had more to do with purgatory, but we won't get into a religious class.
It had a lot. Now. It also had a lot to do with drinking.
But sometimes we're playing these songs and they're like, I'm like, Mom, we got to pick up the tempo. I'm falling asleep in this thing. Oh, Chris, this is a good one. This is a good one.
No, but does Louie need the tempo picked up?
No, it doesn't. It already has tempo.
A little bit. It needs a little beat.
Okay, so in New York, should they put a techno to Frank Sinatra in New York? New York.
Wait, did you just compare Frank Sinatra to the Louie Group? What is it, the Four Horsemen? What was their name?
I think so. You're damn right I did.
Yeah.
You're damn right.
Okay,
so in Boston, when they do Sweet Caroline, should they go Sweet Caroline? Should they do that?
It's not needed. I think Louie needs a little.
Oh, Chris, this is a guy that's all about Mount Rainier.
I am,
and gooey ducks.
Everybody gets so
and Dick's driving.
Little change, it's all right. It's just it brought a little beat. It's late night. You got to fire up the team, fire up the youngins.
It's because of all the Swifties that you work with. They probably like
I literally walked into the newsroom last week, guys, and I was coming into the parking lot. I usually have a song that fires me up. I was listening to Wham. I think it was like "Wake Me Up Before I Go," and I roll into the newsroom and I start playing it, and two of the Swifties are like, "What are you listening to?" And I go, "Wham," and they're like, "Who?"
Oh,
I go, "Wham? You've never heard of Wham?" And they're like, "No." And I was like, I felt so old at that moment.
What'd they think, though?
Oh, they loved it. And then we watched the video and they're like, "Oh, this George Michael has beautiful hair." I go, "You've never even heard of George Michael?" So
yeah,
I felt really
did you
old.
tell the Swifties he's not on your team?
I didn't get too in depth. I mean, I feel like, Jim, I need to have Puckett with me at all times just to take the conversation over the line.
Well, it's funny that you bring that up because last night at the Limback Lumber Little League practice, we always play music during practice, and of course they always want like, can you play Kendrick Lamar and and whoever else, just Future. No, we're not playing any of that. I mean, I got to play the the clean version, but we usually do. Last night I said, you know what? I'm playing 80s, so we played all 80s hits.
Oh, nice.
And I think they were a little taken aback, but I could see them on the bass pass kind of dancing along a little bit. I'm like, yeah, damn right. 80s where it's at.
Little Billy Idol sneaking in there.
There's some Billy Idol.
Billy Idol.
There was some Duran being played. I think we had some Wham.
Chris, it's a nice day for a white wedding.
Oh, great song.
So,
it's
Jim,
a great song.
when I was announcing at Rogers High, I took the song "Money Money," and I would play that, and I would get on the thing, and I'd say, the theme's going on like, "I say Rogers and you say Rams," and the fans would get into it. And then my son one day was like, "Hey, Dad, it's kind of cheesy a little bit." I was like, "Come on!"
No, I was at Jim. I was at a game one time, Rogers Rams playoff game against. Why am I blanking on my buddy's school down in Vancouver?
Camas,
Skyview.
Oh,
and he was he's the DJ. He's a hell of a DJ. And then they play this annoying. What's the train sound? No, don't you play when you get a run the horn?
The horn.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Man.
I love that. The Mariners got that little laser horn. They do that.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah. Are you guys ready for the worst loss of my life? And I want to get you guys' reaction on how I treated the refs.
Yes.
Because you two, I respect your opinion. So we're at the state basketball youth tournament, and we're undefeated, taking on an undefeated Snohomish team. I'll just give you this long story short. We're down 5 with $1:40 to go. Little Luke Egan just heats up and hits 2 threes in a row, gets a steal, gets a layup, gets another steal, gets a layup. We go up 5 with 30 seconds to go. They call a timeout. I'm jumping up, and we're getting crazy. We're in the middle court here in Spokane, so there's a big crowd now kind of working around our court. We're fired up. They're now down 5 with 30 seconds to go. They bring it in, toss it all the way to the corner to one of their big guys, and he just kind of throws up an off-balance three-pointer, and it goes. So they're now down 2 with about 15 seconds to go. We get the ball into Luke Egan. He gets it to the corner. It looks like they're going to trap him. My assistant coach starts yelling, timeout, 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 timeout. Luke breaks it and could pretty much dribble it out, but the referee was on a 5-second delay, and so then he says, timeout.
Oh, no.
1.8 seconds to go. We're up 2 still. The ball is now on our side of the court because he got past half court. For the first time ever in this game, we take our normal timeout. We break the huddle. Well, the ref decides to put the ball down on the ground for the first time during the game. So as soon as he puts it down, he starts counting. Okay? Our guy gets over there. I said, you got to get it in, get it in. Throws it in my mind at 4 seconds. He blows the whistle as he's making the throw, saying 5 seconds. So not only has he set the ball down, now he's blown it, which I think at 4 seconds. I still feel like we're okay. We're up to 1.8.
Okay, that's bullshit on the ref's part.
Well,
though.
you're not the only one there. You're not the only one there, Jim. There's, in fact, one fan that said they think he got paid off, but that's another story. I didn't see the money.
All saying this story while wearing the South Hill All-Stars hat.
So now at this point, they still have to go the distance of the court. For some reason, he takes the ball and moves it a little bit, like 5 feet closer, which I'm like, whoa. I'm yelling like, no, it goes where we throw it in at. Doesn't happen. They actually exchange inbounds, people. So now we went from a 4-second count to what I believe is a 10-second count.
Did he put the ball on the ground this time?
No, the ball never went on the ground this time.
Wow.
But here's what happens, and here's where you just give love to Snohomish and this youngster. He gets the ball, comes up, gets the ball, pretty much double teamed. He turns around and yells, Kobe, throws it over his shoulder as the time expires. Yells Kobe. Everybody on that sideline hears it. Over half court, guys, hits the backboard, goes in.
Oh, my God.
3-point play. We lose at the buzzer.
Oh,
my assistant coach, our kids are Snohomish going wild, and rightfully so they should. It was an amazing shot. This youngster made 2 incredible shots to help him win it. My kids are meanwhile in just shock. My assistant coach goes after the ref.
No, I bet.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't think in my 25 years of youth sports, I've ever been more upset about a ref. But I have to, at the same point, I'm like, well, this kid just hit an amazing shot. But I'm like, I have no idea why you set the ball down. And I'm trying to be nice about this thing. We broke the huddle right at time. I think, honestly, sir, it was the worst call I've ever had in 25 years of coaching. He goes, well, yeah, blah, 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 blah. I go, you know what? I don't have to live with it. You do. So have a great day. But just know it was the worst call. And I kept my mouth. I didn't know swear words or anything like that. But here's where it's so nice to have a wife that just can support you. So we lose. We were hoping to win a state title. We go back to the hotel, and I'm just sulking like a baby on the bed. My little guy's on the other bed. He had like 23 points, but I think he's still upset, but happy he had a good game, but upset. And my wife just says, I'm going to give you 2 5 minutes to sulk, and then we're going to turn this thing around. Because it's just a game. You two are both healthy. So I give a lot of credit to Melanie Egan. 5 minutes happened. We flushed it. We went back on Sunday. We played awesome as a team, won 2 games, didn't win the state title, but we ended the year on a very high note, and it was fun. But I'm just telling you what, guys, I've never in my coaching career almost threw up. And I almost threw up that day.
What did you say to the kids after the game?
You know what? I took the blame. I said, you know what, guys, we made a couple tough coaching decisions down the end that we should, I wish they wouldn't have called the timeout.
Meanwhile, he's pointing at the assistant coach, Jerry over here. Hey, kids, if you really want to know the truth, Jerry fucked it up for you guys. Coach Chris did everything I could.
I applauded their comeback. I said, and you know what I said, Jim? I said, this is life. You're gonna run into some moments like this, and you think you got it, and all of a sudden you don't. I said, we have to give credit to this kid from Snohomish to hit the shot. I said, I don't know how you're going to do it because I'm not sure how the coach is going to do it, but we need to flush it and come back tomorrow. And we got 2 more games. And to credit these junior high kids, man, not one of them, I mean, every one of them showed up on Sunday and played their hearts out.
Because you want to know why? The kids process it way better than the adults. That's why.
Yeah, I think
they get over it faster and they're able to recover. It's the adult. It's us. We can't.
Yeah,
we can't get over it.
I think you're 100% right, Puck. I think it's more like parents trying to
where
the kids are like, oh, that stinks. Let's go play laser tag and maybe we'll play more games tomorrow. But
yeah, I don't think I would have had a different talk to the kids after the game because I would have thought, hey, you know what? You guys are right, man. We got screwed by this official. That happened one time when I was in Yakima, where the official put the ball down and then they inbounded to Stevie and he turned it over. Everything was in a hurry. It's an official trying to be part of the game.
Yeah.
And he would say, okay, look, you came out of the timeout. This is the letter of the law. This is the way we were taught to officiate. But there should be some wiggle room. There should be a gray area there where it wasn't like you were intentionally stalling to get out there to inbound the ball. But he had to take it upon himself to start doing the 1, 2, 3. I mean, come on.
And just to do it at that point, you haven't done that the entire game, and then all of a sudden to do it at that.
So do we know if the ref had a Snohomish address?
That's where there's people on X that were saying some things. I don't, I'm trying to move.
You're trying to move on.
Chris, good for your wife. I mean, that's great, but I probably would have overruled my wife on that one and just said, you know what, honey, Johnny and I are going to need more than 5 minutes if you don't mind. And guess what? Johnny's never had a drink to this point.
But he's having one tonight.
Yeah. Well,
he's having one tonight.
So Jim, that night I'm at the bar, the Davenport bar.
Great bar. Great bar.
We got the Woodinville families, Mount Si, Enumclaw, White River. I know all these folks. And literally one of the Woodinville parents comes up and goes, hey, Egan. You guys getting that highlight on the news tonight? I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, I heard some kid yelled out Kobe and hit a shot from beyond half court. I go, yeah, that was freaking against my team. he goes, Moscow Mules on me. And so I literally that night, I think I had 5 Moscow Mules. And I had the biggest headache that morning. And my wife's like, yeah, because you just drank 5 cups of sugar.
Well,
yeah.
And then he's on the sideline with the little granddaddy's cough medicine in the morning, like Buttermaker. Hey, how do we not have video of this?
There is video. They don't have it went on X, but there's not a really good shot of the kid yelling Kobe. You can see that they were videoing the kids down the court. They do have video of the kid that makes the 3-pointer, and it was like,
I don't care about the kid making the shot. I want the video of you and the assistant going after the official.
Well, that's a good. I think
that's what I want.
I got a call from a buddy who's in Enumclaw. He goes, "Dude, I heard you were hotter than you've been in 25 years." I'm like, what? I go, "Were you there?" He goes, "No, but I got 3 friends that were."
We got to see this. We have got to see this video.
The
fact that the kid yelled Kobe is awesome.
And that's honestly, if somebody would have had a good shot of that sports, it would have been and I've never seen this in my coaching career. It would have been a Sports Center #1. I mean, it was that good of a shot.
What, was it like a hook shot?
He just literally, Jim, comes towards the ball like this, and his basket's that way, like where my lamp is, catches it. He's got no time, so he just goes Kobe and throws it over his shoulder.
And basically half court, you said?
Over half court. Yeah. So
unbelievable.
I mean,
we need
the fact it's going up in the air, and I'm like, and I still remember this. It's going up in the air. I'm like, oh shit.
So you thought it had a chance when it was in the air?
I did. It was right on, and the way things went the last 30 seconds, I'm like, this thing is dropping, and sure enough, just boof. And I'm like,
Jesus.
What do you do though? At that point, you're like, you know what? Today was not our day. So,
my Lord. Man.
But
I don't know who had it worse, you or all the weather people. Did you get any tornadoes? I mean, my God, the overreaction of people. We're going to get tornadoes. Jim, you don't know this, but up here was like tornado watch this week. And nothing happened.
Were there any? Anywhere?
Nothing.
Bonnie Lake might get one.
So, Jim, there were people moving their cars under
It was
under sheds and under parking garages. They were going to parking garages because they were worried about the hail.
Yeah, the hail. People were putting mattresses on the cars.
My beautiful wife that I talk about a lot, she actually went out to Gig Harbor. She's showing a house out there, and she wanted to get all the furniture in because she was worried about the tornado blowing through. And I went to bed early that night because I had to do the morning show for opening day. And I get up at midnight because I've got to get to work by 1:30, and I roll into Bigfoot Java to get an ice mocha to kind of get me ready for the day. I haven't even made an order. Roll down my window, and the lady's looking at me like, "Are they going to fire all the weather people?" I go. Good morning. There was no hail. There was no hail.
There was nothing, Chris. Nothing.
I go, can I just get an ice mocha, please? I'm in the sports department.
I need a message sent to Marriott and all of them. What is going on? And it's not just Rich, it's all of them. I mean, Jim, it was paranoia up here. People are flooding the grocery stores, buying food, mattresses on their cars, preparing for Armageddon. And you know what happened? It rained, and there was a little bit of thunder. That's it.
Yeah. I would just say this. I've never been a weather forecaster. I think the Pacific Northwest would be a tough region to try to do weather.
You know what, Chris? I agree with you on that. Like, okay, let's say the tornado actually happened and they didn't forecast that. They would have gotten shit for not forecasting.
Yeah. And here's the other point I always have. All these people are upset. Okay, well, are you really upset that your car didn't get damaged? I mean, really,
I'll be honest with you. I did kind of want to see a tornado. I didn't want anybody to get hurt, but I did want to see kind of a tornado.
You wanted it to just come ripping through Ballard?
No. We're in an ecosystem. Nothing happens in Ballard. We're good.
But it was like this.
Hey, if it would, I'll be honest, if it would have swept away the hobos on Leary, yeah.
But Jim, people are like, yesterday everybody's all upset, and I kept saying,
there goes another generator.
Yeah, I'm like, why are we upset that it didn't happen? We should actually be happy.
Yeah, you're probably right. All right.
But to Jim's point, there are days where I'll leave Puyallup and it's like blue skies and sunny, and then you go 30 miles north and it's like I think it's a hard region. There's so many different areas that.
You want to wrap it up? You want to stick around here for Friday voicemails? We got Friday voicemails. You know what, Jim? We hear from Mike the Mannequin is back. Which is Mike McDonald. Yep. We hear from Gino, who has landed in Vegas.
Oh, good.
And then we hear from, I believe it's Harry Doyle and Dick Vitale.
Oh, wow.
All right. Here's a little Friday voicemails for you. A little bit of laughter as we go into the weekend.
Yeah, Bucket. It's Mannequin Mike. I'm a little tired. I got to tell you, it's been a week. But man, it's so quiet around here. I mean, DK was loud. You know, Gino, I love the guy. You know, he was my guy, of course, until he wasn't. But, you know, he could just keep chatting on. And, you know, I'm stacking silence right now. Sam doesn't talk a lot. Small hands, have you seen him? But I don't care. I don't want him to really pass the ball. So, feeling good. We got a good draft coming up. All right, go Hawks.
I think he is. I think Mannequin Mike, Chris, and Jim has turned into probably my new favorite character, Mannequin Mike.
I got complete silence from the sports department when I said next year on Paul Sylvie's Seahawks show, why don't you have me in a box and every time we hear the word stacking, I'll take a shot.
Stacking silence. That's a new one. I like
that. God, there he is, Mannequin Mike. It's a little quieter without DK and Geno Smith around. Speaking of Geno, let's hear from Geno Smith. He's now landed in Las Vegas.
Geno from Dino's. Of course there's a Dino's in Vegas. Look it up. Located up the strip. Their motto is getting Vegas drunk since 1962. Sitting here with my new Pawn Star Bud Chumley. Old Gino has some Hawk stuff to sell. Pro Bowl shirts, Pete Carroll's one game hat, DK's ponchos. Anyway, Gino living high at the Strat. Everybody can see me at that big D. at least until Lockett arrives and gets me a house. As for Raider Gino got his treasure. Arg. Out.
I like how Jim. I like how he's added the R and then out.
He got his treasure. Yeah.
You know, the wife and I were in Vegas, and we were in a taxi cab. Guys wearing all Raiders gear, and I said, "What do you think about Gino?" And he's just like, "I don't know."
Yeah, that's when you know you've nailed the quarterback.
Well, my wife pulled out her number 7 Gino jersey the other night. She's like, well, I'm not sure what to do with this now.
Oh, man. Oh, Gino. Has he listen, have I missed it? Has he signed his deal or not?
I don't think so.
I don't even remember him doing has he done a press conference down there yet?
I don't know. I don't think he has. And if maybe we missed it, but I don't think he has. I don't think he signed the deal. That seemed to be imminent that he was going to sign a contract. So
what were the odds that Gino was going to get the deal that he's getting in the same year that Russell Wilson's getting, 10 from the Giants?
10 million. Yeah. 10 million. Yeah. What a God, Russell, man. He's just is the barnstorm.
I think 10's an overpay for him.
I agree.
You?
Well, you guys weren't both of you there with me when he had that presser in Seattle, said he was playing until he was like 40 something.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's
just bouncing around from team to team. It's just like, hey, man, at some point, just call it quits. Well, we'll see. All right, here we go. Last voicemail, Friday voicemails. Harry Doyle and Dick Vitale.
Hello, everybody. Harry Carey's WG Outcomes opening day. Also, March Madness gone, so we got the great Dick Vitale stopping by the booth. Dick? Oh, love it here, Harry Carey, love it. Cox baseball. Now I grew up a Yankees fan. Of course, my mother made me a Yankees uniform. I used to practice calling baseball all the time. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Swung on a deep left field. It could be gone. You know, I used to have a great time. God damn, that was pretty good there, Dickie. I'm too drunk to do basketball.
You know what? I thought it was Harry Doyle, and then I put the image of Harry Doyle, and it was Harry Carey. But I think it worked anyways, did it not? I mean, we got the point. It
sounded like Harry Doyle.
It had a little Harry Doyle in there. Yeah. There he goes. There's your Friday voicemails. Please keep the Mike the Mannequin coming in, because goddamn, that makes me laugh. That makes me laugh. All right,
we got to hear from Jamal though. I miss Jamal.
I miss Jamal a lot. Yeah, I don't know how we contact the guy that did Jamal Adams. We need Jamal Adams back. Any parting thoughts before we go?
Let's just hope the Mariners can take care of business at home. 13 of 16 games at T-Mobile Park in this first 16-game stretch. So let's get some wins, and happy Hello Kitty hat night. So enjoy.
Is it Hello Kitty hat night tonight?
I think it's tomorrow. Tonight is Randy Arozarena pullover shirt night. I believe.
Nice. Yeah. Nice. Okay. All right. Good deal.
All right. I just want to tell you guys, I've just really enjoyed this hour today because it's given me a break from my wife. And this is going to sound like I'm an insensitive husband, but she's recovering from surgery that she had in Portland last week. And so it's been 8 days of, honey, can you make me some tea? Honey, can you do this? Honey, can you do that? Today, it's like, hey, I'm going to expect you to vacuum the house. And I'm just like, I so enjoyed this hour of peace and quiet, stacking silence with you guys without having to make, I mean, Jesus Christ, I've never seen, most people when they make tea, they put one tea bag in and then, have a little bit of honey. But God, I get, instructions on, no, you need to have the orange tea with the green tea and you need to put it in there. And then you need to turn the Smokey the Bear honey thing over, and make sure you squeeze it all in there. And I'm like,
Jesus.
You realize this has about 380 calories in it, but
you know what? Hey,
Jim,
you need to go to Starbucks. I think they have a special tea where they have like 8 bags of tea in there. Just ask for the I don't even know what it's called. It's some special type of tea when you're sick, and they'll put it all together.
I need
for
it.
you.
This has been the worst week. Everybody I know is sick. It's awful. It's awful. All right, boys. Enjoy the weekend. Thank you so much.
Take care, Puck. See
you guys.
Love you, Puck. See you, Jim.
There they are. The Chris Egan and Jim Moore for your Friday daily puck drop. Love having all those guys on together. And again, if you're coming into the show late, you can always watch it later up on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel. Also on your favorite podcast platform, Apple, Spotify, YouTube Music, Amazon Music, wherever you find your podcast. And, of course, always up at pucksports.com. All right, let's wrap up the show today with Hey, What the Puck, which is brought to you again by Restoration One of North Seattle. Your restoration company lets you avoid the stress of water, fire, and mold damage with their property restoration services. Locally owned and operated. Make them your first call when those damages affect your residential or commercial property. 206-817-8917. Visit them online at restoration1.com. North Seattle franchise. You know, last night was another reminder sometimes, and maybe I need a reminder. I think everybody sometimes needs a reminder. It's not too often, though, that sports are fun. And I thought last night was one of the best sports nights that I can remember in a long time. Now, Mariners won. They rallied. It wasn't looking like it was going to be a great sports night. And then all of a sudden, boom, Rosarina tying home run. Logan Gilbert's pitching his ass off. And then Jorge Polanco, guy that has been much debated by us, by everyone in this offseason. You know, it's just it was an amazing sports night. It was just fun to watch. But in you know, also with the basketball games going on, Arizona and Duke, and watching Arizona fight themselves back into that basketball game. Incredible plays by Lloyd's team and Caleb Love trying to will his team to victory. Watching Cooper Flagg, who is going to be the next superstar in the NBA, who does everything. I mean, everything. He's got every skill imaginable for a basketball player. Watching Florida kind of get into a game with Maryland, but then Florida ends up, you know, pulling away because they're just such a better team and they willed themselves to the victory. But the McQueen guy, watching a young freshman who's going to be a high draft pick himself, watching his old school low post moves, his ability to get to the basket. I mean, it was incredible to watch. I mean, the footwork, the basketball IQ by him. For a guy that is 18 years old, and then to watch what was just probably, without a doubt, the greatest offensive performance I've ever seen in college basketball, last night displayed by the Crimson Tide of Alabama. I mean, they shoot 51 threes, they make 25, they score in a in a 40-minute game, they score 113 points. The Sears kid scores 30 of his 34 from beyond the three-point line. Just an unbelievable display of shooting. And then we're treated, you know, to the best game of the night, to watch a team in Texas Tech that was, you know, left for dead. Didn't think they were going to come back. You thinking Arkansas is moving on. They're going to move on to the Elite Eight. This is going to be the story of John Calipari. It's going to be the story, you know, kind of the rebirth of him and Arkansas basketball. And Texas Tech said, no, we got it. We're gonna pull back, and we're gonna bear down, and we're gonna pull out that victory. And the tough shots they hit left and right, but both teams back and forth. The rebounding, the hustle, laying it all on the court, and then you're watching all that simultaneously with the baseball game. What's going on, and and then for me, I tie it in because we had Little League practice that night, and we had just a great fun practice in the rain, and you know, kids who had never really pitched for us before were pitching them, and they're throwing strikes left and right, and to see the big smiles on their faces when they're getting strikes, and they're like, oh my God, I can actually do this. And then we're hitting, and they're guys who haven't hit are just hitting bombs left and right. For me, yesterday was just an incredible sports day. It went from kind of coaching to then sitting down and watching a fun baseball game, dominating pitching on both sides, great base running, huge plays late, and then watching just high-level basketball on the other TV. It was, I don't know, just a fun night of sports. And sometimes we kind of need a reminder of that sports is indeed fun. That's it for Hey What the Puck, all brought to you by Restoration One in North Seattle, your restoration company that lets you avoid the stress of water, fire, and mold damage with their property restoration services, locally owned and operated. Make them your first call when those damages affect your residential or commercial property. 206-817-8917. Visit them online at restoration1.com, the North Seattle franchise. That's it for this week. It has been a long week. It's been a good week. As always, thank you for everybody for watching and listening to today's show. Big thanks to all of our sponsors today. Limback Lumber, A Clean Streak, Georgetown Brewery. Please go check out their new Tavern Beer at your local bar. You can also go to georgetownbeer.com. You can find the location of the Tavern Beer there at georgetownbeer.com. Easy drinking domestic style lager that's actually made here in the state of Washington. Also, as always, huge thanks to restoration1.com, the North Seattle franchise. Today's Daily Puck Drop, as always, you can find up on YouTube. When you're there, please subscribe to the channel. We're close to about 5,000 subscribers, so we'd like to get over that mark here pretty soon. Also, when you're there, leave a comment on the show. Try to get to as many as I possibly can. If you like to listen to it, of course, Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, whatever your favorite podcast platform, you can listen there. You can also do what Jim does. Just go to pucksports.com. And that's good because when you go to pucksports.com, top of the webpage, you can sign up to be a Pucks Posse member, which is just $5 a month. And again, it just supports this project, which we are now, day one to into year two now. Celebrated year one yesterday. Now we're into year two of Puck Sports. So it supports the continuation of Puck Sports, the Daily Puck Drop, all of the free content we do. But in addition, we provide extra bonus content for you Posse members. So Ryan Divish, every single week you get the full Ryan Divish podcast. Dane Brugler from The Athletic, NFL Draft Countdown Series. Our new podcast that just debuted this week. New episodes coming out on Monday. The Sports Pit with my buddies and former KJR alums, Steve, Sandy Sandmeyer, and, of course, Matt Stretch Johnson. Again, new episode coming out on Monday. You can find all of it up at pucksports.com. All right, that's it for us here on a Friday. Everybody, enjoy your weekend. Watch out for the tornadoes and hail. We'll see you Monday. As always, promise to be better.
No shoes, no ties.
Would anybody like to smoke some pot?
Yeah.
I was born to love you. I was born to lick your face. I was born to rub you. But you were born to rub me first.
What do you need my address for? We'd like to send out a mailer.
Mother of mercy, I don't speak Japanese!